Welcome in. It's the Thanksgiving edition of the Say It Out Loud Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Graham. As always, as usual, I got my guy, Bobby Deskin, in here. What's happening, Bob?
Not much. What's going on, buddy?
We got an action-packed show tonight. We usually do 2 shows. We're going to jam it all into one. So no episode Friday. Enjoy your Thanksgiving, but we have packed this show. So we got me and Bob. We're going to talk about Week 11, preview a full slate. There's no bye weeks this week, so that's cool. We got a full slate of games. 3 games on Turkey Day as usual. Sunday night, Monday night, full day Sunday. Pete and Riot, my son, he'll be back for the Locks of the Week. We got that coming up. I got my guy Stephen Gillespie from the Off the Ball Network joining us. He's joining me to talk NBA draft, NBA for anything basketball. This guy's been balls deep in it all off season. So got that. Then we'll touch on, there's a couple other weird events coming up this weekend. We got the match with Phil and Barkley.
Just Curry and Peyton.
Yeah, we got that. We'll touch on that in a minute, talk about the odds.
So is that one also pay-per-view?
No, I think it's on TNT.
This one's free.
That one's TNT Friday.
This one's free.
Yep.
The last one was pay-per-view.
The match was?
Yeah.
Or just it's the Tiger Phil heads up right, for the $1 million?
That was pay-per-view?
I think so. 2 Thanksgivings ago?
Yeah, it was wild. You paid like $45 to watch between the two of them score 3 birdies.
I didn't watch. I was in Vegas during that. I was on Vegas on Thanksgiving that day, so I got to bet on it, and they had it up in the sports book, but I didn't get to.
Yeah, between the two of them, they put on like 3 birdies, the whole scorecard.
So yeah, we'll talk that. We got Tyson and Roy Jones fighting Saturday night. No winner. We'll get to that. Jake Paul and Nate Robinson.
There's a winner there.
There's going to be a winner there.
That's a real match, bro.
We'll talk about that one. Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather might fight. We might touch on that, but who knows? But before we get to all that, so obviously it's a jam-packed show.
We're going to do a lot right now.
Thanksgiving, you got to be thankful. So we're gonna pretend, in some cases, in actual cases, you're an Eagles fan. I'm gonna throw out some teams, and you gotta think of what they can be thankful for this season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I'll just run down the list. I already wrote mine down. This is kind of new to you.
Yeah.
I didn't even prep them.
That's
ready to go.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Thankful for Big Ben's return. That's what I'm going with.
That's fair, dude. Mason Rudolph, and I mean they went. 8-8,
it was a 4 quarterbacks last year in Pittsburgh played a game. It was not a great year, but somehow they still went. Was it 8-8? 8-8?
Yep.
Thank Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
be a little thankful for Mike Tomlin, but be thankful for Big Ben's return.
Could you just imagine Myles Garrett trying to slug out Ben Roethlisberger with the helmet? This fool would have caught it and hit him back. Slugged him back.
Well, yeah, I don't think he would have decided to swing it. I don't think he reached that high.
So yeah, as a fan though, you got to be thankful. They got the inside track to the number 1 seed. I mean, they're 10-0. They got a couple, maybe two games left. Possibly they play Baltimore this week, and that's a big game.
Yeah, they're at home.
Yeah, it's in Baltimore.
It's in Baltimore.
I don't know.
No, I think it's at home. I don't know. It's at home.
Still a big game, but as of right now, they got the inside track to that one. There's only one bye, so you got to be thankful.
You got to be the 1 seed.
So that's awesome.
Bye. Yeah,
because you don't want the Chiefs to get the bye.
No, you do not.
Make them go play because to me,
because if the Chiefs get to the title game against Pittsburgh, they got to go to Pittsburgh.
Right. All right, Buffalo Bills.
Thankful that Tom Brady is no longer in your division. That's what I would say.
They just swapped out Tom for Cam.
It's been like an 18 season.
20 years.
Is it 20?
Didn't he play 20 in New England?
I think it was 18. This is 19, right?
Who cares? Long time.
Either way, you've had 18 seasons of Tom Brady just killing Buffalo.
So as a
be thankful.
Yeah, they have to be.
Finally, the division's open for whoever to win. And you got Miami in there.
Their offense is good, but mine with Buffalo, they're getting wins despite playing bad defense right now. Their defense has regressed from the last year. They were number 2 behind New England. Remember how good their D was?
You remember how good Tre'Davious White was?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's still the potential. That's why I still have them top 6, 7 team in football.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Kansas City. This one's easy, right?
You got to be thankful for Pat Mahomes.
27 so many touchdowns. You're thankful for no interceptions. He's a lot of touchdowns.
I feel like he's been locked in for almost 2.5 seasons.
It's like if any of it. Well,
his decision making.
Playing children's football.
His decision making is crazy. Like he's just been locked in for 2.5 seasons. He never makes the wrong play. Few and far between. He doesn't do anything where you go, what were you thinking?
We knew Sunday when he got the ball they were scoring.
You know what was wild? That was his first comeback from behind. No,
since
ever. He's never been trailing with 2 minutes and came back and won a football game.
That can't be true.
That's the first time ever.
Wasn't he trailing in the Super Bowl?
No. What do you mean? The Niners didn't score in the entire second half.
Were they trailing? They scored in the fourth quarter. Not the Niners. The Chiefs were down in the fourth quarter.
I'm saying in the final
10,
2 minutes.
right? I don't know about how many minutes and all that.
In the final 2 minutes, that was his first go-ahead drive in his entire career.
That's true. That's crazy.
That's wild.
I'm going to have to fact check you.
Look at it.
All right, Colts. I'm not doing it right now. Colts.
Thankful for the defense.
Yeah.
Because Phillip Rivers has some times where he plays really bad football games, and they still somehow are in a position to win.
I think that's team.
That's the key.
Mine's DeForest. They got to be thankful for DeForest Buckner. That's part of the defense, though. But they got him from the Niners, and he's just an animal.
He's good.
That's one thing there. Other thing, I think balance is good for them.
Frank
I like
Reich.
their offense.
You thankful for Frank Reich?
Frank Reich left Philly. We see how Philly. We'll get to Philly in a little bit.
Oh my Lord, let's go.
But yeah, Colts are a contender in my eyes. The Browns, Cleveland Browns fans.
Oh man,
it's tough putting you the Browns fans because I guess we could ask. I should have called Stenson.
Be thankful for a winning season.
I mean,
how long's it been? 15 seasons?
No, not that. I thought they made the playoffs one year with. I guess that might have been 15 year round 15. One year they went they did good, but no,
was that with the Peyton Hills?
I can't remember the quarterback. I was trying to think of the quarterback the other night.
Tim Couch?
It wasn't Couch, dude.
Tim Couch, dude?
Maybe, who knows? I think Stefanski's commitment to the run. You got to be thankful for Kevin Stefanski
for a reboot,
committing to the run. He doesn't ever. Obviously, the running backs are Hunt. They have the
best
Chubb.
one. They have the best duo in football, I would say.
Well, second probably.
I don't know who's better.
Derrick Henry.
Well, I mean, Derrick
whoever
Henry,
the backup is.
Me and you could play
me
back.
And Derrick
up there
Henry could be better than 1-2.
That's a fact. Yeah.
But yeah, the commitment though, he doesn't.
The best running back duo in football is Derrick Henry and Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry and that's it, the duo. So yeah, Browns, Stefanski committed to the run. They're playing good defense and getting W's. 7-3.
They're winning.
All right. Speaking of Derrick Henry, what's Tennessee Titans?
Thankful Derrick Henry, man.
I thought you were going to say Tannehill, and I was about to freak out.
Tannehill's been
earlier. You were
good.
talking about Tannehill MVP.
He's. Did you not see his numbers?
No, I get it, but that's not real.
Okay. Derrick Henry is the reason they're a great football team. Tannehill is not the problem. He's never been a problem there.
No, he's playing all right.
He's played great football for them.
Yeah, the Desmond King acquisition was big. I would say they just
huge.
Lost to Indy, but that was a punter's fault anyway.
Yeah,
this fool got a pump. Took 4 steps and tried to punt it. Who does that?
It was wild.
And then he shanked the one. He caught it on. This was 2 weeks ago. I'm still mad about it.
He caught it on the wrong foot. I don't get how that happens.
What?
When the punter caught the ball, he was already on the wrong foot.
That was the worst punt game I've ever seen a punter play in my life.
I don't get how you caught the ball on the wrong leg. Like you had to take an extra step to kick it.
So he punted.
This is routine here, bud.
First one punted 17 yards.
Shanked it.
How do you follow that up? Oh, blocked punt for a touchdown. Cool.
On his fourth step.
Good job, bud. I don't think he's gone, right?
Maybe Derrick Henry can go in there and punt the ball.
They should just run a fake punt. He gets a steaming run or run.
If he gets a 12-yard head start to the line of scrimmage, the linemen are getting out of the way.
Right. All right. Derrick Henry, number 1 in rush yards, tied for 3rd in touchdowns. I mean,
that's the same scenario every single season. So
someone playing on Thursday, Baltimore Ravens.
I don't know.
How about an extra playoff spot?
That's probably it. Yeah.
That's what they're thankful for.
There's not a lot to be thankful for over there. They are struggling. Seems like they can't play defense. Their offense can't come from behind. They're on they're 3 deep on running back now with this going into this week.
I mean, they're deep at running back, but it's not going to be fun.
Not this week. This week, there's no depth.
Vegas Raiders.
Thankful for John Gruden.
I got to say, Carr's efficiency, right? So efficient right now. 19 touchdowns or 3 interceptions.
I would be thankful for John Gruden. I feel like I feel like Mike Tomlin's probably going to win Coach of the Year, but I think John Gruden's going to get a few votes. He's going to have a few votes. I'd be thankful for John Gruden.
Dolphins.
Thankful for Ryan Fitzpatrick.
His professionalism.
Yes, for not causing a scene, for not going absolute diva mode and just blowing up the entire locker room. And then sitting on the bench, standing there and letting Tua get benched for a performance, and then not throwing a fit
again
that you're not starting.
His professionalism,
again. Like he's just He's an all-around great teammate, man.
That was one of mine. Brian Flores is an animal.
He's a great head coach.
He's another coach that's going to be with Gruden and them, but probably Tomlin is going to win.
Tomlin, probably. I think Gruden get some votes.
I think Flores also. His defensive mind, dude. That defense,
they're great.
Playmaking,
they're great.
Top 5 scoring. They make plays.
What are they, 3 overall?
Spot. Yeah, they might have went up even more. Well, I don't know. They only allowed 20 last week.
Yeah, I think they're like 3 overall.
So yeah, Jets.
Nothing. There's nothing to be thankful for the draft. Just look forward to it.
Adam Gase.
Be thankful for Trevor Lawrence.
They got the ultimate scapegoat.
Just be thankful for Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, that's fine. But the ultimate scapegoat, dude. He doesn't have to do any. Like, I want his job. He's getting paid millions. He doesn't have to do anything.
The thing is, though, if he ever loses that job, there's never a head coaching job available for him.
Yeah, they're guaranteed.
This is it.
This is how it works in the NFL. You get fired and be like, hey, what about, he was just in a bad situation, right?
No,
the Cowboys will probably hire him as offensive coordinator.
There's no way.
That's the next Cowboys coach is Adam Gase. They're going to fire McCarthy and hire Gase.
Probably the same guy.
That'd be wild, huh?
Yeah.
Breaking news. Mike McCarthy's been fired. And what if they trade McCarthy for Gase?
There's no way.
Did you?
That'd be the most irrelevant trade in football history.
That'd be phenomenal, no? Just try it out.
That's like trading kickers on a bye week and then cutting them both.
Fantasy football?
No, I'm saying in the real NFL. Like, trade your kickers, you're both on a bye, and then cut them before the next week. Most irrelevant trade in history.
Dude, that'd be great. I feel like the Cowboys should do that. Why not? All right, let's go. Let's switch. That's all the AFC teams. I didn't do everybody. I had to throw the Jets in there because I wanted to talk about Adam Gase some more.
Be thankful for Trevor Lawrence, too.
If he wants to come, if he's going to enter the draft. All right, the Saints.
Oh man,
I'll go first.
I'd be thankful for backup quarterbacks. They're 6-0 with. They're 6-0 since in games Drew Brees hasn't played.
Yeah, 5-0 with Bridgewater, and then
1-0 with Tyson. But I mean, and they're also 0.5-0 with James Winston. He played a half.
Said 0.5-0. I've never heard that.
6.5-0.
You can't be a 0.5.
He won the game.
All right. That's the dumbest thing. 0.5. He's 6.5-0.
Give him a little credit over there, dude. They're already killing. They're already just killing him over there.
Then Trubisky. Well, I don't know why this popped up. So all of a sudden, Trubisky gets 2.7. He's 2.75-0.
Yeah. Call it what you want.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Foles is 0.25.
Wasn't he losing that game?
Yeah, didn't get a loss though. So the other guy gets a loss.
Nick Foles gets that win.
No, he gets a quarter of a win.
He came back. No, he gets a whole win because he came back.
Oh, he gets a win and a half. He gets a win and a half.
Trubisky gets a 0.75 loss because he came out losing.
So what? What's his face gets one and a half win?
Yeah,
get out of here. Absolutely. All right, Saints. They're thankful. The fans. Remember, we got to talk about the fans. Their ineptitude of opponents. That's what you got to be thankful for. They have played. I've looked at their schedule today. Obviously, they played the Bucks twice. But
other than that, they played the Raiders. The Raiders.
They lost that game.
Yeah, I know.
They lost to the Raiders and the Packers, the two teams.
Anybody over 500?
This is their 7-game lose, except the Bucks.
Bucks, yeah.
This is their 7-game winning streak. The Lions, the Panthers, the Bears, the Bucks, San Francisco, and Atlanta, and the Chargers. And the Lions they were losing. Obviously, Lions are known to blow games.
Yeah.
Chargers, they should have lost. Badgley missed a field goal to win it. And the other ones I think they're winning. Either way,
they have soft. Schedule.
And then this week they played Denver.
With no Drew Lock?
No, he played. He played last week.
He didn't miss that game?
No, he played.
Oh, wow.
Played terribly, but he played. And then they play Atlanta again.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so that's what they need to be thankful for. They're probably going to get the number 1 seed, although the Packers do hold the tiebreaker, but the Packers lost to the Colts, 1 game back. Saints
Packers lost the Vikings.
I know the Saints better get that 1 spot.
They need it if they want to win a game in playoffs.
Rams.
Thankful for Sean McVay.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Moving on. His game plans are so good. Last night they ran the ball like 4 times.
We're the same. Me and Sean McVay are the same age.
Yeah, I'm older than both of them. I'm older than Sean McVay, I know.
He's been coaching for like 10 years now. How is that possible?
Well, I mean, yeah. It's 4 years, 4th year.
Yeah, as a head coach.
He's been to a Super Bowl.
As a head coach.
He was coaching when he was 16, huh?
He was like an assistant or a wide receivers coach.
When he was a ball 18. Boy when he was 9, right? Or something?
Something wild. He played quarterback.
Packers. This one's easy to Rodgers.
Rodgers.
There's no other answer.
That's it.
Like, it's not the GM.
Maybe Devontae Adams?
He's still Baldwin. Adams, I think, everybody's on this hype train with Adams. I think he's overrated.
He's balling.
Yeah, put Allen Robinson with Rod. He throws him 50.
You're saying Allen Robinson is better than Devontae Adams?
Same guy. They're all these number one. Adams is good.
So is Rodgers making him good?
Rodgers makes Adams
throwing him open?
No, just throwing him. Not really. Adams is open, but Adams makes a lot of tough catches where Rodgers puts it exactly in a spot where only
tight window throws.
Yeah,
gotcha.
So if you put another elite, I think Adams is up there. I think he's top 5 receiver, but I don't think he's just got like
he's balling.
You put like these quick twitch guy, like put CD Lamb in there. He's gonna be a monster with Rodgers.
Yeah,
I mean, just my opinion. Yeah. Eagles. Oh, this would be fun. We have an actual Eagles fan in the building. Bobby, what are you thankful for this Thanksgiving?
The NFC East.
That's definitely
the answer. That has there's nothing on the team to be thankful for. Do you know what the definition of insanity is? It's doing the same thing over and over. Oh, we're gonna get there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna save that for later.
So you got the NFC East being in that division. Mine is the injuries to pass the blame to. I wrote down NFC East too. Also,
it's the NFC East. Thank God the whole division sucks.
I'm surprised you're on this again, kind of against the Eagles train because
I'm done, dude. There's no more excuses.
A lot of the people I've read about on Twitter or whatever I'm on is all of these. Oh, he doesn't have anything to work with. Fulgham isn't anything. Fulgham's the NFL receiver. He's proven that. He's gone up and goes up and gets the balls. It's decision making.
This is
not the injuries.
This is the problem. Last year, Carson had the same issue. He had nobody, right? And they gave him all the excuses. He threw for 4,000 yards without a receiver over 1,000. We're going into this year. It's not the same storyline anymore. Now, there's no more excuses. Mm-hmm. We're not winning. There's nothing. It's the same thing every week. Disappointment. It's bad.
True Eagles fan right here.
It's bad, dude. I'll get into the Eagles. We're gonna get into the Eagles later.
That's what we should do. 50th episode. We should just have a fan from every team call in.
30. That's gonna be a long show. 32
50th episode.
Let's go.
Those guts. All right. Yeah, we'll get to the Eagles in a bit. All right. Seattle Seahawks. Russ obviously.
Thankful for Russell Wilson.
No, DK Metcalf's just a.
And if you're at Thanksgiving, if you're at the dinner table for Thanksgiving, nobody on the defense is allowed at the table.
Yeah, maybe Bobby Wagner.
Yeah, that's about it.
He stops some runs. But the second,
everybody else sits outside.
Jamal Adams, he gets in the. He's not playing coverage.
He got traded there.
He's not playing coverage. Is he not a cover guy?
I don't know. What they trade for him for? Nothing.
He's blitzing. Every time I see him on the field, he's in the backfield. I don't know what's happening.
I don't know.
Maybe you should stay back in your area.
Do you think he's not supposed to?
No, he's good. That's probably the plan. But I'm just saying, maybe you should get some guys to cover, dude.
He's out there on his own dime, just doing whatever he wants to.
No.
Troy Polamalu.
I get it. Like the guy's in the backfield. I've never seen him break up a pass play. I only see him tackling people in the backfield. It's like maybe you should stay home. Put him at linebacker. Play somebody else back there.
They said Troy Polamalu wouldn't even come to the huddles in Pittsburgh on defense. He did whatever he wanted.
The best story I ever heard was the Pat McAfee story of Polamalu lining up in the gap.
When Pat McAfee had 100% touchdown.
He said this
guy never lined up here ever in his entire career.
The one time,
I look up and he's lined up where I'm
going.
That's
the best story I've ever seen.
He's like, we're kicking it.
Stop, we'll kick the field goal. He's there. He's over there.
He said, we're kicking it.
Oh, all right. Arizona. Oh, no, Tampa Bay is next. Tampa Bay.
I would be thankful for Ronald Jones right now.
100-yard touchdown?
Just, he's playing great. He's playing great football.
He's not getting the ball. The defense has got to be.
They're good.
Defense is carrying that team right now. They kept him in the game all night last night. Brady didn't.
No.
I'm still not worried. I still think Tampa Bay's winning the Super Bowl. I'm still going on record with that.
I'm on them, dude. There's nothing
I think they're going to lose to Kansas City also. But I think
they lose back-to-back and still get the Super Bowl?
It doesn't matter. Until playoffs. They're not getting the one seed.
Everybody's 0-0 in the playoffs, right?
They're going to have to travel. I think they're better. I don't think they're good at home. Tampa Bay is not a...
Tom Brady's used to playing in the snow.
He's not good in Florida.
It's too hot out there. It's hot on the streets.
Arizona.
Kyler Murray.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, thank you, Thank you for DeAndre Hopkins.
Thank you, sir.
Kyler Murray's balling.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's the case, but thank you, Bill O'Brien. This fool trades Hopkins and gets fired. He could have gave him some more stuff, too.
Thankful for the Hail Murray.
That's like if you're getting fired at Walmart, you start unloading TVs out of the back for no money. She said, here you go.
The truck backs up and they never make it in the store.
He said, where's all the TVs? He's like, remember Johnny? You fired him.
He's not here no more.
He was the truck manager.
Johnny drove off with 65 inches.
Yep, Bill O'Brien. You're Johnny from Walmart slinging TVs out of the back.
Yeah.
All right, Chicago. Anything?
Not much.
5-1 start. Somehow they're still 5-5.
I don't know. I'm thankful for Matt Nagy giving up play calling duties to Bill Lazor, who still goes 3 and out.
That worked terribly. Dallas Cowboys, NFC East. You're
thankful for Jerry Jones not firing every single person ever on right now.
No, as a fan, you want him to fire him. No, doesn't matter. It's 100%. Because do you know what's crazy? We'll get to this. All right, they're still alive. Last one is Atlanta.
Thankful for firing Dan Quinn.
Did you know they're in last place in the NFC?
Yeah,
I didn't. I thought they.
I thought there was
a worse
they were
team.
Like fourth worst, but they're last.
They're dead last in the NFC. That's insane to me. So if I'm Atlanta, hopefully this takes place. Arthur Blank,
he's 109 years old.
The team, but this is an opportunity.
But he's not making any decisions over there. He's collecting
he needs to. This is a team that needs to rebuild
right now,
like quickly. They have a top draft pick. So Julio's great. You probably have to go get some assets from him. Matt Ryan, I'm probably trading him to Frisco or getting some picks. They have a whole team.
What's their draft pick right now? Is like 5.
Yeah, they're 5 or 6, 4. I think they're 4th. Chargers are 5. I think something like that. They're the top 5, 6 in the draft. They can get a Justin Fields maybe. Who's their guy?
Dallas is what, 3?
No. Well, it sucks.
4?
You know what's crazy? Okay, we'll get to them. Let's get into this. NFC East. What's happening in Philly? Let me sound off. Go ahead.
So I'll go back to this. Do you know what the definition of insanity is?
Yes, I think everybody
doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome.
Right.
And that's been literally the last 5 weeks in Philly. There has to be some sort of change. You have to do something, whether it be Jalen Hurts starting at quarterback, Doug Peterson giving up play calling. Something has to change. You can't continue to go into every week and do the same thing. You have to do something, especially when the division, somehow we're still leading the division.
Yeah.
Like we have an opportunity to win the division. You have to change something now. You can't wait.
So this is the thing I keep hearing about the Cowboys. Everybody on TV, Twitter is like, Cowboys just need to throw in the towel, give up, and just take the pick.
They got Dalton's back.
No, but that's what they're saying. Even if they right the ship, like with all these teams, like, no, you got an opportunity for a high draft pick. But with Philly,
what does that change next season?
No, I agree. I disagree with all of it. If you have a chance, Brandon Marshall's gone off today. He's like, if you have a chance to win the division, even if you go 5-11,
you win.
You're in the playoffs. If you make the playoffs, you have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. The Eagles did this with Nick Foles.
Right. They had a wild card. Were they 7-9 that year or 8-8?
No, they won
9-7.
9-7, and then went to
Atlanta. Atlanta came because they won their division.
Yes.
Atlanta came to beat them because I remember they had 4. Atlanta had 4. It was first and goal from like the 4, and they threw to Julio Jones, but Matt Ryan kept throwing it out of the back of the end zone.
3 times. Yeah, if you're going to win the division, this is the thing. If you have an opportunity to win the division, you don't throw in the towel because everybody's 0-0 in the playoffs, and anything can happen.
Right. Well, the crazy part is Philly has the toughest schedule out of those 5 teams.
Of the NFC East, they have the toughest schedule. They have the 5th toughest in the NFL going forward.
So this week, the Cowboys and Redskin or football team play each other
Thursday.
Whoever wins is 4-7. If the Eagles lose to Seattle on Monday night,
dead last.
No,
Giants.
One of those 2 teams automatically jump them because whoever wins that game. So if the Cowboys beat the football team, they would be in first place until the Eagles play, which is absolutely nuts to me.
It's brutal.
So yeah, he's dodging the bench.
That's
somehow
but
the bench is chasing him. The bench is chasing him through everywhere.
Jalen Hurts or Doug. Something's got to give. One of the 2 have to change something, and Doug Peterson's not going to give up play calling. So let's start Jalen Hurts. If he's horrendous, if nothing changes,
all he has to do is not turn the ball over. Wentz leads the league in sacks.
Yes, but this is where Jalen Hurts
and interceptions.
This is where Jalen Hurts will excel. He can extend plays.
Wentz does to an extent, but he always makes it cool.
He holds onto the ball till he gets sacked. It's wild.
He leads the league in sacks, fumbles, and interceptions.
Hits, turnovers, the whole 9 yards. He has the most fumbles and interceptions in football.
By 3 interceptions, he lead by 3 or 4.
Yes,
it's nuts. So yeah, I'm glad you're you're recognizing this.
It's
a lot of Philly fans.
They don't want
to argue with me till it's not Wentz's problem.
He's bad this year. It's bad. There's got to be some type of change.
I get the he doesn't have the. I think Fulgham's played well.
He's been great.
This fool's going up getting jump balls over dudes.
Since
I don't know.
Since like week 6, he's top 5 in football.
Yeah, but they want to just say, well, just because we haven't heard of him before week 3 or 5 or whatever it was, that he doesn't have any weapons. It's like,
dude, that was the problem last year.
Watch the game.
That was the problem last year, but he still threw for 4,000 yards without a 1,000-yard receiver.
Right.
So that's not happening now.
This year it's way more turnovers.
He's not throwing the ball downfield. He's not getting complete. His completion percentage is like 54.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
All right. At least would you say a must-win game against Seattle?
Yes. You
must-perform game.
You can't lose this game, especially when the two division teams playing each other, and one of those is going to lead.
Yeah.
So
you get their schedule going up. They got next 2 weeks after this game is next 3 weeks, Green Bay, the Saints, and Arizona.
Yeah. So you have to win, especially
with Seattle playing such poor defense. I think the Philly defense hasn't been playing terribly, but Wentz has been putting them in bad spots too. So
turning it over, dude. And it's not turning it over and like giving up short fields. Wentz is turning over in the red zone. They did it twice last week.
Yeah, I had Cleveland defense.
They did it twice last week. You turned it over in the red zone twice. Yeah. You cannot do that. That's taking minimum 6 points off the board.
Minimum 3, you mean?
Twice
total?
in the red zone? You're taking a minimum of 6 points off the board instantly. Right. You can't do that. And then the other side, you're giving up points. That's a huge swing.
So as an Eagles fan,
we start Jalen Hurts next week.
Start.
Official. Yes, I would start him.
100%.
100%. I'm on board. There's no more excuses.
This is the crazy.
You can't. I gave it 5 weeks. I've gave it 5 weeks. It's the same thing every week. We have to make a change.
You're coming to your senses.
I am.
Eagles fan. We got a live Eagles fan.
I'm coming to my senses. I've also bet against the Bears this week, so I'm coming around.
So pick your poison.
Coming around.
So said bench Carson Wentz.
You have
fade
to
the Bears.
You have to. So
you hate Nick Foles?
No.
Okay. Still likes Nick Foles. All right.
I don't hate him, but I'm betting against him.
All right. We mentioned the Cowboys beating Minnesota. That was kind of that was the craziest upset of the week. Obviously,
Andy Dalton looked good.
The damn Vikings were set to make a playoff run.
Adam Thielen did everything he could.
Stenson just walked in.
He did decide to walk by me.
He said Minnesota 100-1. Best bet. This fool's come out win a couple.
You might get him at 110 now.
We looked them at. They cut it to 50 after they beat the
Packers.
No, the game after that.
Oh.
But no, you can't lose to the Cowboys. They had a string of 3 straight games that were like winnable and set them up perfect for that, and they have an extra playoff spot. But the Cowboys, how about the Cowboys? Season alive.
Still the Cowboys.
Zeke. You were calling him a bum. Is he still a bum? He broke 100 yards.
Oh,
100
first
yards.
time in 11 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. One out of 11, huh?
1 out of 11. He got Andy Dalton back.
How many James Conner got?
Probably 1. James Conner?
Yeah. Well, he's got 1.
He's
got
Zeke in James Conner's offense? Give me a break.
He's got 1,
me?
He's got 1?
I don't know. I don't care. I don't want. James Conner's boring. Looks like he's like.
So is Zeke.
Do you know who James Conner should play for? Is the San Antonio Spurs. That's what he should play for.
Zeke is boring too, dude.
No, Zeke eats, dude.
Tony Pollard eats.
Tony Pollard looked fast on that 40-yard touchdown run.
Tony Pollard
way fast. All right, so Cowboys.
Tony Pollard eats. Zeke
Andy
snacks.
Dalton. No, stop. Andy Dalton looked good. 22 of 32.
He looked
CeeDee
good.
Lamb was dropped. CeeDee Lamb's a weapon.
Sick catch.
He made 2. The one.
The one in the touchdown was sick. Adam Thielen made a sick one too in the one-hander. Yeah.
All right, this one's all right. Here we go. Oh, you're gonna love this one. All right, so Tua I'm not gonna say his name. Tua got benched 4th quarter for Ryan Fitzmagic. 10 minutes left. Tua was sacked 6 times before this. He's 11 for 20 for 83 yards and a touchdown. 83 yards is kind of weird. It's not very long. He's not throwing the ball down the field.
So we're in the 4th quarter. He's got 83 passing yards.
Down 10, 20-10.
So we're 2 minutes into the 4th quarter. He's got 83 passing yards.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you think about the benching though? Was it a bad move?
So if you're gonna bench Ryan Fitzmagic when he's playing great football, then you're making a decision to go to Tua as the future. That's your guy.
Yep.
Okay. So you can't 2 weeks later bench him for performance because you're worried about maybe not still being in the division or, making the playoffs. And this is also, 4 days before this, Tua came out and said he thought the NFL was going to be a lot harder than it was. And then he goes out and throws for 83 yards for 3 1/4 of a quarter. He's in the 4th quarter with 83 passing yards. Fitzpatrick comes in and throws for 90 in the first 2 drives.
Yeah, Fitzpatrick was 12 for 18, 117 yards and an interception. That's where the key lies.
In 10 minutes.
That's the key. Well, they were behind, obviously. I saw a lot of people freaking out on this move today. I don't mind the move at the time.
It breaks his confidence to me.
No.
So every time he struggles, they're gonna go to Fitz to save the day.
I think it was kind of a one-off deal. This dude was getting beat up. He had they sacked him 6 times.
So at halftime, if they make the move, Fitzmagic win that game?
No, not necessarily. The problem is with Fitzmagic, he turns the ball over so regularly. I think that's what
he's a risk taker.
I think that's why obviously the future is Tua. I think part of the reason they moved was the turnovers. Because if Tua can just manage turnovers, which he hasn't turned the ball over yet. I think he had a fumble, but that was on the center. No, he has 2 fumbles. One was his first snap even.
He's also been spotted a 7-point lead 3 weeks in a row.
Almost. But his job is to not turn. That's why they made the move. Fitzpatrick has the defense to just don't turn it over. But Fitzmagic has that itch in him. He's going to sling it. And he can't. That's why they said,
confident.
Okay.
He's confident.
You have 10 minutes left. Who are you going to try to pick to come win a game right now? Fitzmagic or Tua?
You got to come back.
So I don't mind the move. Everybody's like, oh, you're shattering his confidence. I think he understands. Like Fitzmagic is going to throw the ball down the field. He's going to take those chances.
He's the type of teammate where it goes, it was best for the team.
And Tua needs to, both those guys. That's why it's still working.
So next week, if they're down to 7 and with 2 minutes to play, is it better for the team to put Ryan in the game for the last drive?
No, I think it's because of the amount of times he was getting hit. Also,
they couldn't get anything going.
Nothing.
Right.
Couldn't. So I think it was that along with the kind of just the aura of the game.
Pace of the game. What I mean? They need Fitzpatrick to get out there, get out of the pocket, make plays.
They needed some energy. He'll bring the energy. You put Fitzpatrick. Do you know how you make like a 6-man? Go
make plays.
Get in there.
Get out of the pocket, make plays.
Right. I think that's all it was.
Are they doing that, though, to stay in the division?
They're in the playoff. I think they're in the playoffs right now.
They're, a game back?
They're 6-4.
They're a game back?
They're 2 back in the division. No, okay. Bills lost.
They're a game back.
They're 1 game back.
So are they doing that to stay in the division and not just take the L with Tua?
No, they want to make the playoffs.
Right.
I don't think it was anything to do with Tua's playing bad, even though they said it was
They said they benched him for performance. You could have said you benched him because his hip hurt. But they put him on blast and said you benched him for performance.
That's fine. I think he probably sat both these dudes down.
It was like, hey, this guy gets us a better chance to
win
the football game.
When you're down 10, the aura of the game. It's like if somebody's hot in basketball, you leave the dude in. Let him keep shooting. Feed that guy in a way.
I don't know.
Give him the juices. I don't mind them.
It comes down to winning games.
Yeah, they're trying to win the game. He didn't have it. There's days where you don't have it.
Okay, so it comes down to winning football games. But yet, Ryan Fitzpatrick got benched being up 22-0.
He turns the ball over.
He got benched after he won a game 22-0.
Yeah, so you don't give it the defense.
So it's not really about winning games.
Dude, whatever. I'm just saying that specific moment.
I don't know if it's the right move.
We'll see. We'll see how the season plays out, but I don't mind them. I don't know if it's the exact right move. If
Fitzpatrick comes back and wins the game, maybe it's the right move. The game back
then
it's
a problem. That's where I think it's a problem. If Fitzpatrick comes in and wins the game, then I'm like, you got to go back to Fitzpatrick. That's a bad look. But he came in and proved why he's benched.
We got him. He got him. He had a touch. He had a drive to win it.
Don't matter. Maybe it's play calling.
He turned it over.
Threw a dart right to Justin Simmons.
Yes.
So that's why that's where it is.
It's just weird. You can't just keep swapping back and forth.
They've swapped it once.
They already swapped back. What
do you think the Eagles are going to do when they swap to Jalen Hurts and then
you stop right there? That's it.
That's the only
right there. That's it. Play him.
All right, next one.
Play him until we lose.
All right. I don't mind the move. You hate the move.
I don't hate the move. I think it's a bad choice. Bad choice.
Yeah. Taysom Hill. Talking about bad choices. Obviously it looks awesome right now.
Overrated.
I talked about this earlier. The Saints have played cupcakes.
Anybody can play quarterback on that team and win games. They've proved it. They're 6-0 without Drew Brees in his last 6 misses.
Sean Payton.
So you're going to start a tight end. You're starting a tight end at quarterback.
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute.
Players on the team are upset. You know what I mean? There's players and coaches on the team that still are upset that Jameis Winston's not the starter. You have to make a decision. The locker room is going to turn on you next week if Taysom Hill does not perform. They won't. Do they at halftime? They're down 14 or down 17. Does Taysom Hill get benched and start Jameis Winston? But then do you really bench Taysom Hill, or does he still on the field, running the ball, playing tight end, playing wide receiver, returning punts, returning kicks? What's the drive with this guy? What's the plan? If he plays horrendous at quarterback, you just throw Winston in there and throw Taysom Hill in at slot. Like there's no benching Taysom Hill because he's still going to be on every other offensive possession. He's take him out at quarterback, put Jameis Winston in. Now Taysom Hill's running the ball. Now he's lined up at tight end. Like there's what happens here. The locker room has players that are like Jameis should be starting. What are we doing here?
That's why it's not affecting them because they're not playing anybody. They played the Falcons. The Falcons can't even move the ball. When Julio's out, they can't move the ball because they double Ridley.
It's crazy. They can't. But then would you see the Falcons get in the red zone and Julio's not on the field?
Well, last week he was hurt. He only played.
But, I mean, this goes back years. Yeah. It's been happening for a long time.
Yeah, I just don't trust.
They get in the red zone and they got these offensive packages that don't include the best player on their team.
I just think the Saints season is going to end the same way as it does every year. Heartbreak.
First round heartbreak.
Oh, well, 2 years ago they made it to the Rams. Remember the pass interference was kind of brutal.
That was rough. That actually got the Rams to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Changed the outcome of that game.
That one was kind of rough. But like the Taysom Hill, everybody's like, oh, it was the right move. Their defense played out of their minds. They're playing the Falcons. We'll see, dude. Their schedule's so soft.
I still think Jameis Winston is the best quarterback on that football team.
I mean, to be fair, he did throw Taysom Hill's yards per attempt was way farther than Drew Brees.
That's because Drew Brees can only throw it 8 yards.
I know. All right. Did you see the issue with Taysom Hill playing tight end in fantasy?
They're yanking his tight end?
ESPN.
They're yanking his badge as tight end?
It was a rambunctious.
I'm not going to lie. I started him at tight end in 2 leagues.
Did you?
Yes.
I think I don't care because I didn't have to play him.
I started him
and
at
I have Darren Waller,
leagues.
so it didn't matter.
And I never felt bad about it.
Yeah. You got to the loophole's there. Somebody played him at tight end and probably
I did it in 2 leagues.
But Yahoo never had that designation.
No, but I mean, let's be real. He's going to score 15 minimum. The best tight end. You know what I mean? Top 5 tight end probably.
Yeah. Waller had 18.
Yeah, and I'm sure Travis Kelce had 30.
Yeah, Kelce. But yeah. But the problem, I guess everybody's freaking out because they removed it. It's like you have to.
Now he's a starting quarterback.
You have to remove it, right?
Yeah, it's the right choice.
No,
the guy's not a tight end no more.
This guy wrote me and he's like, "Are you going to join the Exodus?"
The Exodus.
Everybody's leaving ESPN because of this.
Oh, okay.
So if you leave it,
okay.
I'm like, who gives a shit?
We're 11 weeks into fantasy football now. People are quitting.
No, so they're never going to play there again. I said, I only have.
This is my problem. If you're leaving because Taysom Hill can play tight end, how bad was your team?
Well, no, that's the thing. Like, I get it. Who's mad? The only people that are mad is the people that played against Taysom Hill, right?
Right.
So
I don't know. I mean, it's part of the fantasy football game, man.
They should have took to me. They should have took
the guy that had to play against him had an opportunity to pick him up.
They should have took it away as soon as he was announced as a starting quarterback. To me, but it's not like I'm never playing ESPN fantasy football.
No, dude, no, you don't do that.
Doesn't make sense.
They could have took it away last week.
No, as soon as he's announced that you're a starting quarterback,
right,
take it away. But why is he?
But did they not know? Like maybe they thought it was a package. Like Jameis was still going to play too.
Maybe. All right, Marquez Valdez-Scantling's getting death threats.
It's not his fault, man. Dudes drop balls.
No, it's the dumbest thing. Who's sending death threats for a fumble?
It's like,
I guess it happens every time though, right? Why is he complaining?
If this guy's getting death threats, there should be death threats every week. At this point, Nelson Aguilar should have like a book of all
Philadelphia
of them.
And Vegas.
Like he should have a book of death threats.
He cost him the game the other night.
That dude
close to it.
Yeah, it was close. He dropped the touchdown.
Well, he dropped that long 40-yarder too.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he cost him directly again, but he had a lot of big plays he didn't catch.
If death threats are a real thing, Neville's got a whole book of them.
But Scantling, fumbled. The Packers are still 7-3. Like they lost to the Colts. Big whoop.
It's not panic time. So why is this guy getting death threats?
Because he fumbled, dude. The cheesehead's out. Who's threatening him to Who's in Green Bay?
What Packer fan is freaking out right now?
Is there a mob in Wisconsin?
7-3, bro. You're 7-3. Why are you freaking out?
Hey, well, that guy who's the guy with the AK-47? Was that in Wisconsin?
I don't know.
The kid?
Oh, that's
I'm not getting political.
No, that was in Kennesaw. That was Wisconsin, right?
Man, MVS better.
This kid's locked and loaded, headed to Marquez's house. I hope not,
good, dude.
But
but it's not. Who is that mad?
I don't. Why are you Packers saying you're 7-3? You're mad.
Said he's
because the guy fumbled one time. Come on, Aaron Rodgers has turned it over on game-winning drives. Did you threaten him?
So, yeah, it's kind of crazy that people are getting death threats. So that's all I got from Week 11. What else we got to touch on? Joe Burrow got hurt.
That's crazy to me, man. I feel so bad for that dude. So bad. And it's a bad one, dude. ACL, MCL, structural damage.
Yeah, I didn't read it. I saw it came out
It's a 12
worse
month.
than it
It's a 12-month. Dude, did you hear Booger McFarland?
He's still around?
This dude's announcing a game. He goes,
they
should hold Joe Burrow.
Time. Booger McFarland still announcing games?
It was on ESPN. He says they should hold Joe Burrow out till 2022.
Tanking another one and get some
So that's 22 months away. This is a 12-month recovery. He's like, hold him out till 2022.
Yeah.
He won't be healthy till then. I'm like, this is still 12-month recovery.
The doctors are
10 months? Nah, okay, Booger. Go sit down, dude.
So, yeah, Burrow got hurt. What else went on in Week 12, dude? Lions scored 0 points.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened.
Awesome. Steelers wrecked. Derrick Henry with the walk-off overtime touchdown against the Ravens. That was fun. Patriots. What's up with the Patriots? Let's get to Week 12.
How did they lose that game?
So, Week 12. Let's talk about Week 12.
How did they lose the game?
Oh, one more thing from Week 11, though. Tom Brady looked like shit last night.
Dude, his arm was terrible.
That wasn't his arm
strength. He got hit a lot, though.
That was his decisions. He's throwing floaters over the middle right to the safety.
Absolutely. You want to talk about New England?
In a second.
Okay.
I'm looking over this.
Brady looked terrible.
The Jets covered against the Chargers. Anthony Lynn's so bad.
I took the Jets last week.
I get that, but I just hate how bad that guy is. All right, Week 12. We'll skip down to this Patriots game. Cardinals are playing the Patriots.
Talk about how good Cam Newton was?
No, we'll talk about how the Patriots lose to the worst teams.
Yes. And beat the good ones.
They lost to Denver, San Francisco.
I talked about it last week.
And they almost lost to the Jets, and they just lost to Houston.
Right.
But they beat Miami, Las Vegas, Baltimore, almost beat Kansas City, and almost beat Seattle.
They're one yard away from beating Seattle.
And Brian Hoyer almost went in and beat Kansas City. Right. I mean, the score doesn't really...
Cam Newton fumbled going into with a they needed a field goal to tie.
That was Buffalo, right?
That was Buffalo.
Oh, that almost beat Buffalo. But they lost to Denver, San Francisco, and almost lost to the Jets, and they just lost to Houston.
Cam Newton threw the ball all over the field. He threw for 360 yards.
So what's the feeling right now?
I don't know.
The Cardinals at New England. Cardinals are a good team. Decent team. They have their moments. They're
great on offense. They're decent on defense.
They had the Hail Mary, which got them
the Hail Murray.
Luckily.
It's called a Hail Murray.
Whatever.
Hail Murray.
And then they just lost this. They're coming off a loss. I kind of think Arizona comes out and puts it on them, but also I wouldn't be surprised if Cam Newton runs for 114 yards and 3 touchdowns.
It's wild. It's a good team. It's a good team, so New England probably covers.
That's one of the games of the week. I don't know. You got Titans and Colts.
God, dude.
Both of them are 7-3. The Titans kind of have to win this game.
Derrick Henry, man, it's on him. Got to get 100.
As long as the punter doesn't just do what he did earlier. We talked about the punter.
Derrick Henry gets 100. They're 95% win percentage or something.
Colts run D is ridiculous. But
That's what I'm saying. It's on Derrick Henry. You got to get to 100. It's a 95% win percentage.
What else is the Chief, Tom Brady, and Patrick Mahomes?
That's going to be a shootout.
Maybe.
It is.
Is it? It's all about Mahomes and that defense. But the
defense ain't great. Mahomes is locked in.
No,
he's going to sling it all over.
The Tampa D.
He's still going to sling it all over.
That's the problem. The run D is good, but the pass D just got shredded by Goff, Cooper Kupp, and Robert Woods. So
that's McVay's game plan, though. I think McVay knows, he's...
You can't guard Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods, but you're going to call Tyreek Hill? Tyreek Hill's going to run... he might have 200 receiving yards in the first half.
We'll see.
And then, obviously, your team, Monday Night Football. It's going to be for first place.
Yeah. It's a must-win.
Because either the football team or the Cowboys are going to be ahead of them.
Let's just hope Jalen Hurts is if they don't make the start and they don't make the switch, at least let them play a bunch.
If they
Let's see what happens.
I think if they lose this game, you're going to see him
start the rest
against Green Bay.
I like it. I'd rather start right now.
Seattle. Give him Seattle's defense. Give him a warm-up game.
The confidence. The easiest defense in football. Let them go out there and eat. Confidence. Heads in with Green Bay. Wilds out.
It's going to be rough. We'll see what they do. All right. What's the game you're looking forward to the most? Probably that game. Obviously, Monday Night Football.
I always watch Monday Night Football, yeah. So.
And your team.
All right. My team.
All right, now let's get into the locks of the week. Normally we do this Friday. We're going to jam everything in. Like I said before, it's Thanksgiving week. We got 3 games on Thursday. Full slate. Nobody's on bye. Pete's joining us from an unknown location. He doesn't have to disclose that, but he's on the phone, so I'm going to let him give out his 3 picks. Pete, we had a rough week last week, all of us. Actually, a rough 3 weeks. But I think you went 1-2, and you're the only one over 500, so you get to go first.
Only one over 500, and I'm still over here drinking margaritas on the beach, bud.
There you go. Still drinking margaritas. Yeah, you're 15-13, I think it is.
Maybe that's the key. Maybe margaritas are the key.
Something. We need to break this losing streak for sure, though.
With an extra shot of tequila.
Ooh.
All right, well,
I like it.
Break it down. You can give us your 3 locks, and then I'll let you
All right.
go.
I'm going to go with lock number 1. A lot of people might not like it, but I like the Vikings -4.5. I like the Vikings defense. You know what I mean? They kind of, I know they lost to the Cowboys, but I don't think the Cowboys are, they're not the truth here. Let's get real. I think that run game with Dalvin Cook, I think they just exploit him against the Panthers. I think they run the ball a lot. I would also probably take the unders, but I'm going to go with the spread and go Vikings -4.5.
All right, so you got that one, Vikings -4.5. What do you got? What's your second one?
Second lock, I'm going to go with, unfortunately, and I hate to do this, but I'm going to take the Bills this week. -5.5. Bills, I don't know. I just feel like the Chargers are on the downhill. They're just not a good football team at this point, and Anthony Lynn should be fired. I think Josh Allen and that attack is just going to be too much, and I think, final score is somewhere around, I would say 31-21 or something like that. I think they cover in a landslide.
Yeah, Bills coming off a bye or the Hail Mary and then a bye, so they got a little extra rest. Chargers. I mean, the Chargers couldn't even cover against the Jets.
No, I agree.
Give me a break.
Yeah, I know that one hurt me.
All right, who's your last one? So
I've been in a lot of heartbreaking losses this year. They've all been close. They've been tight ones.
Yeah, you have.
The Raider one was bad.
Raider one, the Seahawks Sunday night game.
Yeah.
I remember a lot of the Dolphins Bills. I think it was the Dolphins and Bills back in week 2 or 1.
Fitzy.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right.
Go
ahead.
Last one, boys. I'm going to go with the barn burner here, and I'm going to go with the Chiefs against the Buccaneers. I'm going to go with Chiefs. I think they cover the spread. What is it? 3? -3?
I saw 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Ooh, I liked it. I liked it better at 3, but I still think I think the Chiefs win. 34-27, something like that. So I think it's a high-scoring game. They both teams throw the ball a lot, but I really like I like the Chiefs against Tom Brady, unfortunately, this week.
Yeah, it opened at 3. I'm looking right now. Yeah, every place says it 3.5 though. They probably know, but yeah, no. After watching that debacle. After watching that debacle last night, it's not hard to go against Tampa Bay right now.
Right.
All right, man.
Well, that's my 3 locks. All right, I need a big week right here, boys.
We do. We all need one.
Stay above 500. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're 15-13. Me and Bob are 500 now, 17-17, 16-16. So, all right, man. Well, we'll see you next week, 50th episode. Back in the building.
Sounds good, brother.
All right, brother. Happy Thanksgiving.
Boys. All right, you too.
Later. All right, Bob. We got Pete. Pete's got the Minnesota Vikings -4.5, Bills -5, and Chiefs -3.5. What do you got on your first lock?
First lock, I'm taking the Washington football team -3 or +3. They're +3 for Turkey Day.
Taking against the Cowboys, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, see,
the pass rush is too good.
Yeah.
So
I mean, can't argue. All right, so I got my first one is going to be the Houston Texans -3 against the Detroit Lions. I just don't see Detroit. They scored 0 points last week against the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah,
and I think Galladay's still out. Swift's coming off of COVID. I mean, I just Patricia. If it wasn't Thanksgiving, it sucks because every year on Thanksgiving, this is about the time coaches get fired.
Yeah.
It's got to go. You scored 0 points last week, and I had the over. I'm still mad about that. So I'm betting against the Lions. Feel really comfortable betting against Matt Patricia. So I got Lions -3 on Turkey Day.
All righty. My second lock, I'm taking Browns -7. Jaguars in full tank mode.
Is Minshew back yet? No, it don't matter.
They're in full tank mode. They're not. There's no way they're looking to win games.
Right. Well, I got good news for you. You can get them at 6 right now.
Let's go.
So Cleveland, I almost took that one too.
You like that one? I like it, Browns.
All right, so Cleveland -6. I got the New York Giants -5 at the Bengals. That one, Ryan Finley starting. Burrow's out for the year. That's a big break for the Bengals. Hopefully he recovers nicely. But the Giants are playing better football of late. They're still in the division race somehow. And I just think they get it done by at least 6. Touchdown over the Bengals. Bengals defense ain't good.
Yeah, the Bengals, they're going to struggle. They're not going to win any more games.
So I got the Giants -5.
Okay.
Who's your last one?
My last one is going to be Sunday Night Football. I'm taking the Packers. I don't know what the line is right now. It was, I think, 7.
I saw it at 8.5.
Is it up to 8.5 already?
Yeah.
I'll take Packers -8.5. Then.
Yeah, 8.5. So
there
you go. You wrote your sentences finally.
Yeah.
Kyle
that's what Kyle got to me, dude.
He said, "Did Bob write his sentences like Bart Simpson writing on the chalkboard?" I will not bet on the Bears.
Did he comment on one of my on a post I was tagged in? It was like Bobby would move mountains to bet on the Bears.
I mean, yep. My last one. This one's kind of this one. I didn't. I don't. I'm taking it's another Turkey Day game.
Ooh,
Pittsburgh and Baltimore.
This is tough, dude.
I'm taking the over. 45.5. I know it's a division game and the defenses are awesome, but 2 running backs are out. So Dobbins and Ingram are already out.
They're done.
So they're going to go with Gus Edwards, Justice Hill. Obviously,
Gus Edwards isn't bad though.
No, but Pittsburgh's run D is phenomenal.
They're phenomenal, and Pittsburgh's they're not. It seems like they're not running it. As
Pittsburgh,
much. Yeah,
no, they're slinging the ball to all those fancy receivers.
Claypool's balling.
I just like the over because I think they're going to have Baltimore's going to try to run it, but I think
Baltimore can't afford to get behind.
They can score points even when running it. Lamar Jackson's going to have to start running it. They're losing games right now. They have to throw the ball accurately. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling that this game's going over.
I see it.
45.5. I think we're going 9-0 this week. I feel it in my loins.
Oh, 45.5?
Yeah.
That's low.
I'm feeling it in my loins. We're going 9-0. I know Kyle's listening to this right now. He's gonna freak out and comment and be like, "You're no way. I'll take that action."
No, he's gonna take action on that every time.
9-0. I'll bet you 20. But I get like what's the odds?
We're getting 1,000.
Well, I just bet the casino. Why am I going to bet Kyle?
You got to get 1,000 to 1 odds there.
1,000? No, it's a 9-teamer. What do you mean? It's not 1,000 to 1.
What does a 9-teamer pay out?
Oh, like 500 to 1 or something.
Oh.
Maybe 1,000.
I bet it's close to 1,000.
Maybe close to 1,000. Anyway, that's our lock. So we got Houston -3, Pittsburgh, Baltimore over, Giants -5, Green Bay, Cleveland, Washington football team, Minnesota, Bills, and Kansas City.
Yeah.
9-0.
Right there.
8-1 minimum.
Coming back. It's comeback season.
All right, let's get Riot in here. He's the next one. All right, let's welcome in Riot. What's happening, dude?
Hey, Dad.
Time for the father-son locks. Or picks, not locks. We call them picks. Pick 'em contest. You won again last week. You cut the lead from 4 to now. I think I'm up 3 games.
Yeah.
Oh, you just full energy again. All right, so yeah, you're 30-24. I'm 33-21. So, all right, I got my picks. Let's do yours. First game: Raiders and Falcons.
Falcons.
Oh, you switched it on me. I got the Raiders. All right, Chargers and Bills.
Bills.
Chiefs and Bucks.
Bucks.
Bears and Packers.
Bears.
Seahawks and Eagles.
Seahawks.
Okay. So 3 of the picks are the same. So we all got Seahawks, Bears, and Bucks, and then I got the Chargers and Raiders, and you got the Falcons and the Bills.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's it, man. You think you're gonna win both the ones that are different?
Yeah.
Cut it down to 1 again.
Yeah.
What have you been doing? You ready for Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
This is the Thanksgiving edition episode. What are you thankful for?
You.
Oh, I didn't tell him to say that. All right, buddy. We're going to eat good on Thursday.
Okay.
All right, man.
Bye.
See you. All right, let's welcome in our guest for the NBA segment of the show. I've done work with him in the past. We got Stephen Gillespie he works Off the Ball Network, and he has his own podcast, Breaking the Game. What's going on, Steven?
Hey, Pat, man, it's been a long time since we got to work together, brother. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I know you moved across the country, and I came on your show, but this is the first time you've been on here.
Yeah, I think so. If not, it may be the second time. It may have been a long time ago since I've been on, but I mean, we might as well just, since we haven't done it in a while, we might as well just say it's the first time.
Yeah, man. Well, before we get started work, I know I mentioned the Off the Ball Network. That's something you've been doing. You have your own podcast. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. You know, my listeners are probably not too familiar with you, even though I've shared a couple things we've done together, but where can they find you? Where are you most active on?
Oh, sure. Yeah. You can find me. I'm on Twitter a lot. You can find me at Stephen. That's STEPHEN. And then just BTG, which stands for Breaking the Game. Pat, you just mentioned that. That's the Breaking the Game podcast that I co-host with my buddy Austin Carr. And we just talk about, you know, like the latest signings and trades and like a lot of the stuff that's happening this week. Right. So, and we do a little bit of hyperbole based stuff where we talk about, like, you know, the best, you know, whatever position and things like that too. It's a fun show, but that's available anywhere you get your podcast, and you can just go to offtheballnetwork.com. That's where all my work and the rest of the fellows that I work with, a lot of great sports minds in general. You can find all of our stuff on offtheballnetwork.com. All
right. Well, you're my NBA guy. I know Pete. I don't know if you listen to my show. Pete loves the NBA. He's not with us. He was anxious to talk about NBA, but I'll let him talk about that later. But that's why I bring you on. I know you were balls deep in the NBA draft process, free agency, all that. So first things first, thoughts on LaMelo Ball?
Well, as a prospect, he was kind of interesting. I know a lot of people like him number one overall on their big board. I actually have him third, and I could even be talked into putting Tyrese Halliburton over him. You know, obviously, the biggest thing about LaMelo Ball is his ball handling ability and his ability to pass, too. So all that's fine and good, but, you know, and he's 6'7", so he's got a distinct height advantage at the point guard spot. But when you start talking about a point guard that can't shoot the ball particularly well, you know, questionable finishing ability, his defense leaves a lot to be desired. When you start looking at the upper echelon of the NBA at that point guard spot, if you can't do any of those, you know, kind of weaknesses in his games passable at least, you know, that's a steep hill to climb in order for him to be relevant. As far as where he went, I think it made sense for him to go to Charlotte, right? Like Michael Jordan needs a win for once, you know, in the NBA draft. So I think he went with the biggest brand that was available to him in LaMelo Ball. You know, they just surrounded him with Gordon Hayward, which we may talk about here in a little bit. But, you know, I like the fit with him in Charlotte because I think Jordan really needs him, and I think he needs him to hit well. But overall, as a prospect, you know, I have him third or fourth on my board. So I like a couple of guys like James Wiseman and Obi Toppin a little bit better. But, I mean, at the third pick to get my third best prospect, it's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, you mentioned Obi. That's one of my favorite guys coming out. And Halliburton, too. That was another guy I was looking at. I just have I don't like the baggage that comes with him. Obviously, his dad. Obviously, he's not as a father, but just more of an annoyance to me. And I'm glad he's stuck in Charlotte. And I have a deep hate for Charlotte because of what they did to Kemba Walker. They ate up his years.
Yeah, that wasn't cool.
They ate his prime years.
They did him pretty dirty. Yeah.
I'm just talking about not being relevant because he was, you know, coming out of college. That guy, I wanted to watch him play all the time, and then he got stuck in Charlotte, and you didn't hear from him for 5-6 years.
Yeah, I mean, he turned into a good player, but they also let him go for free, which is really interesting, right? So I don't know if that speaks to, you know, how they valued him, you know, just personally in that organization. I mean, everything that you ever saw and read about him, you know, they loved him, but, you know, they didn't re-sign him to a big a deal like he wanted, but now they're going to be paying Gordon Hayward like, you know, $30 million a year. So it's kind of curious, you know, as to how much they actually valued Kemba in that system.
All right, sticking to the draft, who in your mind had the best and worst draft nights?
So I actually liked the Sacramento Kings, how they drafted. Tyrese Halliburton basically fell into their laps with the 12th overall pick, and I just got done saying that I think that, you know, you could have talked me into putting him over LaMelo Ball. I really like his you know, so much about just the way that he talks about himself and his teams. It reminds me a lot of Damian Lillard. Now, I'm not saying that he's as talented or even his game resembles that. I'm just speaking to the confidence that he puts in himself and his team. He kind of gives me that Damian Lillard vibe. He can shoot the ball extremely well, shot over 40% at Iowa State last season. He defends very well. He gives you pretty good size too, like we just got done talking about LaMelo. Tyrese Halliburton is 6'5", which, is long enough for him to play either guard spot. And he has the shooting and the ball handling ability to play either guard spot. So I think pairing him up with De'Aaron Fox was a good move. I also like how they went after and got Jameis Ramsey from Texas Tech. I had him as a late first-round pick. They got him too. So just overall, they addressed, their guard rotation very well. They're probably going to upset Buddy Hield, which, he's never happy anyway, right? And they may or may not be bringing back Bojan Bogdanovic. But regardless if they upset Buddy Hield, regardless if Bogey's gone, I think that they nailed the draft. As far as worst drafts, I think I put the Chicago Bulls right now as my worst draft. I wasn't a big fan of Patrick Williams. I actually on my big board had him in my second round. I know a lot of people are probably going to ask you why you had me on your show based off of that pick alone. But Florida State, their defensive system, they always have a good defense, but their prospects don't really turn out very well. I mean, listeners may remember a guy by the name of Chris Singleton who came out of Florida State and went to Washington to play basketball there, and he flamed out really, really quick. I'm not saying that Patrick Williams is going to do that, but for him to be taken 4th overall by the Bulls was a head scratcher. And then they drafted a guy in the second round by the last name of Simonovic. I don't really know much about him, but apparently he's a 7-foot shooting big man who's going to be a draft and stash guy. And I don't know what the logic at the Bulls, timeline of them getting a draft and stash prospect.
All right, so Halliburton, you mentioned Halliburton. Any concern with coming off that injury? I know he got hurt kind of mid-season last year. I know there's been a long time to recovery with the time off and things like that, but is there any lingering issues there?
I mean, that may have been why he fell so late. A lot of people had him projected falling basically outside the top 3, but anywhere from there to about 8, especially with teams needing, more guards. So maybe that's why he did fall to 12. I don't see any concern with it because the injury wasn't one that was, projected to take a substantial amount of time to recover from. So I think, Sacramento, they just got rid of Vlade Divac, and apparently that's all they needed, in order for them to draft competently. And I will also say that they added Robert Woodard III out of Mississippi State, who I forgot to mention earlier, who, projects to be a good 3-and-D prospect.
Yeah, no, I like Halliburton a lot. And then my best was the Knicks. I thought, obviously, the Obi Toppin fell to them also kind of in a way like Halliburton did. That was one of my favorites coming out of the draft. I don't know why he slipped so far. And then with Quickly coming out of Kentucky, so that was a decent pick. I remember watching him. I don't know how he stacks up against some of the smaller school guys, but I thought they did a pretty good job of not messing up.
I had him 20th on my board. I'm a big fan of Quickly.
Okay, so yeah, the Knicks I think was my best. Obviously, my worst wasn't really based on the draft. My worst night was the Warriors. Obviously, the Klay Thompson news, which is devastating. But I think the second round when they picked up, so Nico Mannion and then that Jessup guy from Boise State, I remember watching him, and that guy's a shooter. So he might fit.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a little bit of Klay.
Yeah, he's 6'7", shooting guard. I remember watching him just ruin some of my Tuesday nights in MAC action on some bets. He just went off for 35 at a time. So obviously he's not going to replace Klay, but they went and got Kelly Oubre. I think that deal's finalized, so I think they'll be okay. Mm-hmm. But so yeah, worst draft Warriors. Patrick Williams, that was definitely a head scratcher. But did you
right.
Did you see any of the things going around social media where somebody bet on Williams to go 4th overall and got like 30-1?
I mean, that's incredible odds. I mean, if anybody who listens to draft stuff or NBA news in general, there was a lot of buzz like the week coming up into the draft of Patrick Williams just shooting up people's draft boards. So I wasn't surprised that he got taken there. I was a little, I guess, more disappointed. Yeah.
All right. So obviously the top of the draft is like LaMelo and all these guys, rookie of the year. Who's your rookie of the year? There's the odds, but do you have any sleepers or who's your pick first? And then do you have any guys down below, even in the second round, late first that you like?
Ooh, I mean, I think that Obi Toppin really has the best shot based on, where he landed. I don't think that, guys like Edwards and guys like Wiseman are going to be playing behind a lot of stars. LaMelo really doesn't have anyone playing alongside of him. So I think, when you get to a guy who has the talent and the opportunity, I think Obi really has a good shot at. And plus, his just skill set right now is very NBA ready at his position. Offensively, he fits that. If I was going to go sleeper, I would maybe even say Cole Anthony to the Magic, just because he has an opportunity to improve from a bad North Carolina season that he had, but it was mainly due to lack of talent and the system that was implemented. So, he's got some pieces around him in Orlando, and he may be given an opportunity to do a lot more than some of these other rookies because of the position that he plays. So I would say Cole Anthony would be a good sleeper pick.
That was my guy.
Oh, really? Nice.
You stole him. 40. Yeah, he's 45 to 1. No, you're good. You make a good point about not playing with other stars. Like Wiseman should get a lot. He's going to get a lot of run with the Warriors. Edwards is going to be tough. But another guy I really like is that Devin Vassell guy on the Spurs.
Yeah.
And Aaron Naismith from the Celtics. I don't know if he's going to get enough playing time, but with Hayward leaving, I know that guy's probably, some say, the best shooter in the draft. And he
shot over 53, I want to say, over 53% in college, which he took some crazy shots too. So it wasn't just like set shots. He did a lot of creation. Vassell's an interesting one for the Spurs because, again, he comes out of Florida State. His offense, especially his shot, was heavily criticized in the combine, but he's more of a defensive guy. So typically you like to see Rookie of the Year go to the, offensive-minded players. Denny Advia out of Washington might be another good sleeper pick too.
Oh, yeah. I watched some of his highlights. I'm not a big fan of the foreign guys. You remember Jan Vesely years ago? That was supposed to be, I think Washington drafted him 7th.
Yes,
and
they did.
His highlight tapes were out of control, and then I never saw him.
Yeah, he was a big dunker guy. He was about 7 foot, could handle the ball and dunk it. But, I mean, turns out there's a lot of people in the NBA who can just dunk the ball right.
All right, so you got Obi Toppin at 7 to 1. I like I'll go with both of our sleeper. I'll take Cole Anthony at 45 to 1. I think that's a decent one.
I like Cole Anthony a lot.
All right. Enough with the draft. Let's get into so top free agency moves. This is all you. I've seen a couple. Obviously, I've seen the Chris Paul move. Gordon Hayward popped up. Did you hear the rumor that about LaMelo? De'Aaron Fox got a new contract, I guess, and wrote Lonzo Ball and said, "You're broke," or something like that. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
I got to do some more research.
That's incredible.
Said, "You're broke."
I did not see that. I want to look into that because they had a little bit of back and forth because Lonzo was taken 2nd overall, and De'Aaron Fox, when they played against each other in college, Fox cleaned up the floor with them. So they've kind of had a little bit of a back and forth throughout their young careers with each other. So that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I don't know why that popped. Gordon Hayward, that popped in my head because he's playing with LaMelo. But anyway, top free agency moves, like CP3 obviously is a big one. Jay Crowder, both go to the Suns. Suns look formidable. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the Lakers got Montrez. But what's your top, who's your favorite team or, top move that you like the most, or maybe a couple different moves that you like to influence a team?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to bet against what the Lakers did, right? They added Montrezl Harrell, and then Dennis Schroeder. They flipped Danny Green for him, which was a great move in my eyes. So they get 2 of the best, bench players from last season. They added Marc Gasol, and they also get Wes Matthews to kind of make up for whatever it is that they lost in free agency, right? That's really hard to bet against. But I'll also throw out a couple other teams, right? Like what Miami did too. Not only did they add to their team, but they keep their, next season, free agency cap space available for, rumor has it that Giannis might want to play there next season, right? So they had guys like Avery Bradley and other, competitive guys like that. I really like Avery Bradley on that team because he gives them defense at the point guard spot, something they didn't have with guys like Chris Nunn and, Goran Dragic. So gives them a little bit more defensive versatility. I like that move a lot.
Yeah, I know they lost Crowder, but yeah, you mentioned Bradley. It's a good pickup. Crowder was a defensive specialist for them, so I don't know. I mean, their team's pretty much the same, and I like they're going back to the draft, their draft pick, playing alongside Bam or backing up Bam with
Precious Achiuwa. Yeah,
that's going to be tough load down low if they both, especially if they're playing at the same time.
Yeah, see, like, I wasn't really big on Precious. I had him as like a very early second-round pick. But I think anybody who gets drafted by the Miami Heat, you kind of have to give them a little bit of a benefit of the doubt, right? Because they develop guys, incredibly well. So I'm more in love with the fit for him than I am for Miami. So that draft was pretty good. And then they also got Mo Harkless to kind of make up a little bit for what they lost with Jay Crowder. So a little bit of a step back there, but not anything that I think that's going to make a huge impact for where their team's going to be this year.
Yeah, what about some of the coaching changes? I didn't even have that planned, but like Philly, Doc Rivers going there, Daryl Morey left Houston, now he's in Philly. What do you think they're planning up there? I like Philly this year if they can get a couple more shooters. I think Danny Green, everybody makes fun of him a lot, but if he can get a shot back, it's a good fit for that team because they need shooters.
It is because, they got rid of Josh Richardson, so they lost a little bit of their defense there, but Danny Green, the thing is like regular season wise, his 3-point shooting has been really good. But over the past couple playoffs, appearances that he's had both in Toronto last year, which didn't really get a lot of attention, probably because it was in Toronto. But on the Lakers last season, he really struggled from deep, and that's a big part of his game, which is why he was probably expendable for the Lakers, right? So I like that move. They get Seth Curry too, so they get a little bit more shooting. They just signed. People may not know who this guy is, but Ryan Brokoff, who used to, play for the Mavericks, all he does in the NBA right now is shoot the ball. So you probably won't see him a lot, but, they are still trying to address, shooting around Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. Rumor has it that they're pretty interested in trying to acquire James Harden. I think it's going to be tough with the players they'll probably have to give up in return, probably Ben Simmons. If I'm giving up James Harden, I'm asking for Ben Simmons, and if not, I'm hanging up the phone because I know Brooklyn's got a good deal for me.
Oh, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's the only possible trade scenario to let Harden go to Philly. Mm-hmm. Simmons has to be there, which I would do that in a second if I was Philly. But
yeah, I like Ben Simmons a lot just because shooting is the only thing that he doesn't do well, and I think that if you surround him with enough shooting, you don't really ask him to do that.
Yeah, what route do you think they're going to take? So let's get to the NBA Finals. This is way too early. Obviously, there's more moves to be made, but I'll go. So I got Lakers obviously in the finals again, and then I got the Sixers coming out of the East.
So the thing is you can kind of. I think everyone is in agreement with you on the Lakers, right? Like they got better and they're the defending champions, and no one else really took a big step, especially with Clay getting hurt for the Warriors, right? So. The West is the Lakers to lose right now. In the East, you really have about 3 or 4 teams that you could talk me into being okay with. Philly is actually one of them because I think as much as people like to make fun of Doc Rivers, he is, actually still, one of the best coaches actively in the NBA right now. So he's going to help this offense get a little bit more modern. Last season, Brett Brown didn't really like to run pick and roll a lot at all. And Doc Rivers is probably you're going to see more pick and roll, obviously, there and surrounding, Joel and Ben with shooters. They do have the potential to be there for sure. Brooklyn is another team. Even if they don't get Harden, they're very deep now. They drafted well, and they got Landry Shamet. So you have them. I think Miami has obviously got enough dogs to run it back next season. Mm-hmm. Milwaukee, they didn't get Bogdan Bogdanovic, but they're always up there in the number 1 seed spot. So, and in Boston too, I'm not in love with what Boston did this season, but they still got some of the best players in the East on that team. So, I don't know. Out of the East, to me, it doesn't matter. I think the Lakers are going to beat no matter who's lined up against them. To be honest with you.
Yeah, Lakers are kind of the favorite. Okay, last question. I didn't write this one down either. Is there any dark horse team that would be crazy, like the Hawks? I know they added Gallinari so far. They drafted Okongwu, I think. Is that who they got?
Yep.
Yeah, Okongwu.
They drafted Onyeka Okongwu.
They got Capella, Trae Young, Huerter, and just some other guy, Hunter.
They maybe just acquired Bogdan Bogdanovic if the Sacramento Kings don't match the restricted tag that they put on them. So
teams like that, they're sitting at 50-1. there's always some weird teams. Obviously, the East is kind of wide open, and then a couple teams out of the West. Obviously, the Lakers are the clear favorites, but like Dallas with Luka, and you got Houston if Harden and Westbrook stay. I don't really like Houston this year though, but you got Phoenix with all these newcomers. Utah, I thought, did a good job in the drafting Azubuike. And they got.
I'm not really big on him, but he fits their system. Portland's another team that I'm kind of in love with what they did for their free agency.
Yeah, Covington.
Yeah, they got Covington. They brought back Carmelo Anthony and Rodney Hood. They brought in Enes Kanter. They brought in Derrick Jones Jr. They brought in Harry Giles. They did very well for themselves in the free agency.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting. Do you think it's a quick turnaround? Obviously the finals.
Portland?
No, for the whole NBA. They're supposed to start December 22nd. They just ended.
Yeah, I mean it's a quick turnaround. I think that's what the Lakers actually addressed because they're one of the two teams that just got done playing like last month, right? So they got some guys that can contribute while maybe LeBron and AD take it a little bit easy at the beginning of the season. Right now we only have the first half of the season scheduled. We still don't even have the second half. And that's just, I think, that's Adam Silver just trying to be prudent, not trying to pretend like he knows everything that's going to happen. Right. So I think they're going to take it a kind of a step-by-step approach. I think that they're going to finish the season. It's going to be interesting too, because they're talking about letting fans back in and, they were kind of the league that did it right with the bubble. And made fun of the government too at the same time, saying, hey, maybe, our government should follow what we're doing. And now it looks like they're kind of following what, college football and professional football are doing by letting fans participate. Right. And obviously they stand to make a lot of money doing that. But it's going to be a quick turnaround. I think that you're going to see the teams that competed late last season maybe have a little bit slow of a start. But overall, it's still going to be good quality basketball, man. I think that, it's the NBA. These are the best athletes in the world, and it's still going to be worthwhile to watch.
Oh, for sure. I'm excited to have that back. Anyway, I think that's it. You got anything else you want to touch on? Any breaking news that you know and I don't know? Or the listeners? Inside scoops?
Inside scoops. Well, I mean, there's just been a couple of quick little things that happened today. None of the names are sexy, right? Like the Suns signed Langston Galloway, who put up 10 points per game last season for the Pistons. So they're rounding out their roster extremely well. Like they're going to be a team to beat. I already mentioned Brokaw signed with the Sixers. That happened just a couple hours ago. Oklahoma City signed Creighton Jackson, who played in New Orleans for a little bit, and he's going to get a chance to kind of show what he's worth in the NBA. Finally on a team that doesn't really have anything to lose by playing him. And the Detroit Pistons actually signed a guard in Wayne Ellington instead of, the power forwards and centers that they've been chasing, the entire free agency. So they look to, balance out their roster a little bit by signing Wayne Ellington.
Yeah. Now there's a lot of interesting moves going on, but I'm sure there'll be more, like the Philadelphia Sixers. I'm sure I'm done.
Yeah, the big things to keep an eye on right now are, Houston. They said that they're willing to get uncomfortable with, they got about 4 guys left, right? James Harden, Russell Westbrook, Eric Gordon, and PJ Tucker all said that they were mad at the team that they played for and signed contracts for, even though that the head coach and the general manager or president of basketball operations both left. And they got new coaching and new management, and now they're going to come out and say that they're unhappy. They did get Christian Wood. Boogie Cousins is looking to try to have a comeback season. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe Houston did enough just for James Harden to be like, you know what? Maybe I'll just play basketball here for a little bit, because they still have Daniel House and Ben McLemore. Like he may look at this team and with Christian Wood and Boogie Cousins now that they got some big men and say, maybe playing in Houston ain't all that bad, especially if I could have made $50 million a year staying here. But it'll be interesting to see if we keep him.
Turning that down was crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, I mean, I think that speaks to, a lot of people say that he's kind of a selfish guy and he wants, it's all me, me, me. I don't know. To me, like, it takes a pretty unselfish kind of cat to say no to $50 million and play in a system that, wants him and he wants to be at.
Right. All right. Well, that's it. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming on. Well, I'm sure we'll do this more once NBA kicks off. Football is going to wind down mid-season, so we'll do this often. And then,
yeah, man, and yeah, Pat, I appreciate you having me on, man. It was a good time. Really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to talk about basketball. I'm a nut like that, so anybody who wants to, chop it up with me, man, I'm more than happy to do that. And appreciate you giving me a platform to be able to come on, brother.
Yes, sir. All right. Shout out to the Off the Ball Network and the Breaking the Game podcast. Find them on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff, Spotify, Apple. And that's it.
All right. Yep. Much love, everybody.
And let's get into this match. We got the match 3. Stenson probably wants to get in on this, actually, since he's here. You got, so Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, you got Phil Mickelson and Charles Barkley versus Steph Curry and Peyton Manning.
So I want to know the rules. How many shots do
So I was trying to find this.
Do they have to take?
It's a modified alternate shot. I couldn't find anything on it today.
So is Charles just out there playing by himself and they taking all the Phil shots? It can't be that way.
No, it's a modified. So I'm guessing. I'm not going to guess. I don't know the rules yet. But so Steph Curry and Peyton Manning are favored.
Absolutely. If Charles Barkley's on the other team,
is Barkley is it just a shot or is he bad?
He's bad.
Why'd they get him?
Because
he's got to be
celebrity, bro.
Is she like a 90?
Probably around there.
Okay, so he's not completely shitless.
He's terrible.
Can he hit a couple shots? That's all he needs to do. Like
that's what I'm saying. Is it alternate? Because if it's alternate,
he doesn't hit it into the
smoked. Like if they're gonna take Charles drive, they're getting smoked.
I don't think he can be that bad.
Have you seen his swing? Is pretty bad. Have you seen the swing?
Yeah, but they wouldn't put him on.
Have you seen the swing?
I don't know. I've seen the swing. I don't really pay attention how far he hits it. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me, but I mean, it makes sense in the odds.
I don't know.
Are you watching this?
I'll probably tune in if I'm sitting on the couch.
So it brings me to the next. So would you rather watch this or Mike Tyson, Roy Jones?
I'm watching Mike Tyson no matter what.
Really?
Absolutely.
Let's get to that. Who do you got in that match? You got Curry and.
I'm taking Curry and Payne. Curry's a scratch golfer.
-180.
Curry's a scratch golfer.
Did you see? So there's some prop. I got some prop bets on my site. It's like will Barkley make a 30-foot putt?
0% chance.
It's like 4-1.
Will he make one at 4-1?
You can't bet no either.
Yeah, there's. I was about to say I'm putting the mortgage on no. Yeah, there's 0% chance.
I was like, I can only bet yes. What's the no?
And they're juicing it.
Uh-huh.
Let's go. They're only giving you 4-1. It should be 40.
All right.
I hope they take like $1 million at 4-1,
yes.
and he sinks one.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe I'll bet it.
That'd be crazy, dude.
All right. Back to this boxing thing. We got Saturday. So this weekend's wild. We got college basketball, which I didn't even mention.
It's coming. It starts, right?
Starts tomorrow.
We got a whole slate of games tomorrow?
Yep.
Does college basketball last?
I don't know.
With no bubble, no they're just traveling, playing games.
College football's going, but they have bigger teams.
College football's canceled every other week.
Yeah, they're still playing. As long as they play, I don't care if there's 3
teams. And you also got teams dodging
if
teams.
If March Madness is 12 teams and they decide to play like 3-game series,
If it's 4, I'm in.
Play 2 7-game series?
If it's 4 games, I'm in.
Good. Yeah, the national title game.
Let's go.
So you got that coming up. All right, Roy Jones.
Mike Tyson.
Oh, back to, weekend. You got golf. You got basketball tomorrow. Football day Thursday. And basketball.
Yeah.
Friday, the match.
Yeah.
Saturday, you got Mike Tyson fighting Roy Jones Jr.
It's wild.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
There's no winner in the Mike Tyson. It's an exhibition.
I'm mad.
Okay. I get that.
I don't even want to watch it.
It's an exhibition.
I'm not watching it.
I'm watching. You know why? Roy Jones is coming in here to earn money for charity, put on a little show, have some fun. Mike Tyson, there's no in between for this. This is a heavyweight title fight for Mike Tyson. He's knocking. He's going to try and knock Roy Jones Jr. head off, and then after that, it's like Tyson Fury, bro. That's his next shot. Tyson Fury already would do it too. Like, let's go.
It's I was watching Chael Sonnen.
It's California State Athletic Commission.
Yeah, so they can't say you can't go in Vegas. They said don't knock each other out.
That's what they.
I don't
do you
get
think
that.
Mike Tyson cares? He doesn't care what they say. He might knock Roy Jones out, dude. He might.
There's no judges.
What are they going to? He's going to say, "Oops, sorry."
You know what's funny about this? So there's no judges.
What are they going to do? Okay.
There's no judges.
No, there's no
winner.
No.
There's no win or lose line.
No.
But they have knockout lines.
Yeah, because they know Mike Tyson's going in there as a heavyweight title fight.
That was dying. So it's only 8 rounds,
Yeah, it's an exhibition fight.
2 minutes. Do you think there's a knockout?
I'm telling you right now, Mike Tyson's not going in there to play games. And
I think it makes it worse that they said there's no winner. Because now he's like, I have to knock him out in order to win.
As Nate,
then it's a win.
Nate Diaz would say, Mike Tyson's not going in there to play touch butt in the park, okay?
Yeah.
Roy Jones might. Mike Tyson's not.
No, Sonnen made the good point. Chael Sonnen.
Yeah.
He's like, now I think there's like common sense people, and there's like people that don't really get things.
Right.
And
Mike Tyson's on that side.
He kind of implied that he was on there.
Yeah.
And he said, you took away judging, and so you can't win by points.
There's no taking away
But you
points.
want to win. So the only way to win is to knock him out. So I think,
what do they think Mike Tyson's going to do? He's not going to go in there and lose a point.
no, he's going to.
What you know what
shit
the
out of
wildest thing in the world would be?
Do you think it's first round KO?
Listen to
Second?
this. You know what the wildest thing of all time would be?
If he bit his ear?
Yes. If he bites Roy Jones Jr.'s ear off. What
He's going to
happens?
jail.
What happens at this point?
Jail.
No. There are no cops coming in there arresting him. If you're the police officers going to the cage and arrest Mike Tyson for biting Roy Jones Jr. off, you're giving your handcuffs away. You're not going in there. I'm not going in there. Hey,
We're
Mike,
not cops,
hey,
dude.
Mike, man, I'm not here to. I'm just doing my job, buddy. Yeah, you want to turn around for me and put your hands behind your back? No.
Imagine the guy in the cell. The holding cell, he brings it.
This
Cops
one
bring him
doesn't
in. It's
have
Mike
his-
Tyson.
he
He's
doesn't
got
have
blood
his-
dripping from his mouth.
He doesn't have his boxing gloves off yet.
Yeah.
You're putting handcuffs
So
on.
what'd
No.
you do, bro? So I bit another ear. I bit another ear.
He said I'm 2-0 with ears right now.
God Lord. All right, so I think there's a knockout. I probably will watch it. I'm not paying $50. I'm streaming it.
If there's a knockout, it's Mike Tyson knocking out Roy Jones. Roy Jones Jr. ain't knocking nobody out.
This is your favorite fight, Jake Paul and Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson knocks that fool out.
Why?
Because Nate Robinson is super
Don't say
athletic.
the stupid athletic thing.
He is, and he's been training boxing for a long time. Jake Paul's a hype show, bro. He's literally never fought anybody with any skill.
We'll see. I hope Paul wins because there's more entertainment factor for it down the road.
I hope he gets KO'd and his YouTube channel tanks. He loses like 3 million followers a day for a year.
Oh no, he'd only make $20 million a year.
I hope he loses them all, dude. He wakes
it.
up and there's 17 followers on his page.
They're all on us.
Yeah.
No, so I want Jake Paul to win just because it's so entertaining to me to see how strange.
You hate Nate Robinson that much?
No, I don't think. I know it's not that. I just don't think he can create the hype down the road versus these weird. So I talked to you earlier.
He doesn't jump on the
I
hype
talked to you
train?
earlier. This Austin McBroom dude is calling out everybody.
Yeah.
He played basketball back. I don't know how long
Central
ago.
Michigan.
But he has a whole YouTube. This whole YouTube thing is fascinating to me.
Well, he's hot right now because his old lady cheated on him.
Yeah.
Was she in Jake Paul's DMs?
I don't know for sure. That's what Jake said. No, it's just,
of course Jake said
this
that.
whole thing-
Of
this
course
whole-
Jake said that.
this whole
Isn't
entertainment.
he's dating Julia Rose though.
Yeah.
So
She don't care.
Is he saying that for the?
Yeah, but this whole scope. So I watch fights.
I wanna see
Obviously,
the
there's
DM.
skill fights.
I want to see him post a DM.
There's like the skill fights you watch it for. Khabib fans are like this. They want to see the skill. He's the most I've come around on him. I don't like watching his fights, but
He's
he
really
is
good.
dominant.
In
He's
his skill set, he's the best.
he could be the GOAT if he defends it. He doesn't have enough title defenses for me to sit here and be like, oh, he's the GOAT.
No, because he got in the UFC late.
Yeah, but you look at John Jones. He's defended his title 15 times over
17, yeah.
whatever.
He's beat everybody. Johnson beat every single person ever.
So it's tough for me to be like Khabib's the GOAT.
He
But
doesn't
he's
have-
really
he
good.
doesn't have enough.
But
run
the
in
entertainment fact, if I see Khabib fighting
a bear.
I watched Gaethje. I thought Gaethje had a legitimate shot to beat him.
He just he didn't. He didn't.
But if you like Connor, put up to give. But anyway, what I'm getting at is the entertainment factor is why I watch these fights. I don't care who wins. I want to see who the most entertaining people.
So
are.
is Jake Paul the Conor McGregor of boxing?
Floyd Mayweather, Logan Paul, those guys are all coming up to
Stop
take this.
it.
No.
Stop.
Am I watching Errol Spence? Nope. Absolutely not. Shane Smith's about to have an aneurysm right now. Listen,
I'm going to lose it right now.
why you?
gonna
No.
lose
Did
right
you
now.
watch Terrence
All right,
Crawford?
okay,
Terrence
cool.
Crawford
Okay.
just got cut by boxing because
I
Bob
get it.
Arum can build a house in Beverly Hills for the amount of money he pays him.
get it.
And he doesn't
I get
do any
this.
promotion.
Okay, check this out. If this is the case, then we'll end this right now. Let's book Jake Paul and Canelo Alvarez. Biggest boxing fight of all time.
Obviously,
How long does that
skill-wise?
last? How long does it last? The biggest boxing fight of all time, right?
8 seconds.
Canelo knocks this dude into next into 2024, dog, and he wakes up with no
Don't
followers.
Don't matter. No, he's still.
He wakes up with no followers and not a
at this.
paycheck, dog.
If Khabib and George St. Pierre fight, guess what I'm doing?
I'm betting George
I'm
St.
taking
Pierre.
a nap. Not even watching it.
I'm watching.
Don't care.
I'm a fan.
Do not care.
I'm watching. I'm a fan of boxing. If Jake Paul wants to be a real boxer, he wants to box and not steal these hype and try and steal the pay-per-view buys.
This is the only fight I want to watch.
Real.
If Jake Paul beats Nate Robinson, are you going to be like, oh, he was just an athlete? He's not a boxer.
He's not.
No, you just said
he's been training. But what is? Does he have any record?
Yeah, he's beat some other guy.
No, I'm talking about Nate Robinson.
Oh, no.
This is his debut.
Yeah. But if Jake Paul...
So is Jake Paul going to spend his career boxing dudes on their debut?
Yeah, he's going to fight Austin McBroom and get 1 million more people to watch his fights. He's a master marketer.
All right.
Okay.
So then let's book Canelo.
Eventually,
let's book Sergey Kovalev.
No, he's smart. That'd be a dumb move.
Let's book Terrence Crawford.
That'd be a stupid move.
It's the most money for him.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
So there's been chatter about Logan Paul versus Floyd Mayweather.
Logan Paul doesn't survive a round.
I'm just
Floyd
saying.
Mayweather, literally, if he takes it, it's the most disrespectful thing to boxing in history.
It doesn't matter. It's all about the cheddar.
Okay, cool.
That's what's crazy.
He got ripped for the Conor fight.
It doesn't. He made $300 million, dude. Okay. You can rip me all day. I'll fight.
Right. So the biggest fight for Jake Paul is Canelo, dude. That's $300 million.
I don't say I'd rather watch him fight.
It's the most satisfying thing for me because it's dead. It's over. This hype is done.
I get your sentiment, but yeah, Logan Paul, Floyd Mayweather. Would you watch it?
No.
But you're
nope.
100%.
I'm not signing off on that shit. No chance. I'm not agreeing. I'm not signing off on that.
Shane Smith has broken at least 4 drinking glasses in his house listening.
I'm with Shane, dude. I'm not signing off on that stuff.
But you're watching Jake and Nate
only because
you're
Mike
rooting
Tyson,
against Jake.
Mike Tyson's the main event.
So you're just going to tune into the main?
Yes.
Lies.
I will. No, I'll watch Nate Robinson.
I don't even care about Mike Tyson now.
I hope Nate Robinson if Nate Robinson knocks Jake Paul out,
that would be funny.
He flatline.
That would be funny. I just don't see it.
Is that it for Jake?
No.
Or is these YouTube $1 million? Yeah. Okay. So he just keeps coming back and
he'll fight another YouTuber. He'll be the champion of YouTube.
At some point, 100%. Boxing's going to say, "We're done with you. We're done with this show.
They make too much money.
We're done with this circus act."
That's why this Austin McBroom
no,
cat's
boxing
calling
makes
out
nothing. These guys, Bob Arum, make money.
I guarantee, no matter what, one of these guys is fighting McBroom. That dude's got like 5 million followers. All this we just need some followers.
Where's KSI at? Dude, KSI come in here and beat all these guys. He's trash.
Paul won't beat that dude.
What? He lost. That was a loss.
Point deduction.
Okay.
Anyway,
it's still a loss.
If we get enough followers, we can start boxing.
It's still a loss.
Make some money.
I hope we get to 5 million. I'll go fight Jake Paul. I'll knock that dude out all day long. All
right, I think that's it, dude. We got the boxing covered. We got the golf covered. Talked about football. Happy Thanksgiving. This is the Thanksgiving episode. We'll be back next week. Is our 50th episode. We got a new hat. New hats dropping. We should get those by the end of the week.
Yeah.
I'll post some pictures. Half of them already sold.
We got to get some giveaways.
Net 50th episode, I got something.
We got something going?
Yeah.
You got a plan?
So tune in. Follow us on Instagram. I just made a TikTok today. I swore I wasn't going to do it, but I think we have to.
Okay.
Made a TikTok. I haven't.
What dance did you do?
I have the OnlyFans, but I don't think.
What dance did you do on TikTok?
I haven't done one yet.
No?
Are you going to dance right now?
No, you are.
I'm not dancing.
You're the debut.
All right. That's it. Tune in next. We'll be back next week, 50th episode. We'll have the whole crew here. I'm going to try to get everybody on here. We're going to do a giveaway. Pay attention to Instagram, and we're out.